Oh Lord, good evening, PEP scholars. I've been here yapping away and not realizing that my mic was off, so forgive me for that. That's why I'm always grateful to my scholars. I have to thank them because they're always, um, they always have my back. They always let me know when something is not as it should. Madison said, that's so funny. All right, so now you can hear me. Are you hearing me now? Okay. Thank you, scholars. Thank you, Amari and John and Madison, for setting me straight on that. Welcome to all scholars who are joining us. Welcome to the live PEP class. We are continuing our look at the PEP Ability Test, the student camp booklets that were issued by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The original booklets were issued last year, 2021, and they have now been revised. So we went through all the booklets from 2021, and we're combing through this new batch, this revised batch. So we are looking at booklet 3. We did 1 to 16, 1 to 15 last evening, and now we're going to do 16 to 30. Yes, the ability test has been postponed. It's no longer next week, so we have an additional month in which to prepare. Before we go any further, let me play for you the schedule of classes. CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC Math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So, stay tuned. Hello, scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right. So, all right, my scholars are basking in the knowledge that the PEP Ability Test has been postponed for another month. So they do have another month, and they're telling Ashlyn that she can stop the countdown now. Madison says, Ashlyn cannot bother me anymore. Oh, your class had a party today, Madison? All right, let me invite my scholars on screen with me. Welcome, John, Amari, Jonathan, Madison, Jaden.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, guys. Madison, you had a class party today to celebrate.
Hi there.
Good night to those who are joining us in the chat. Those on YouTube, those on Facebook, welcome. All right. Madison, your mic not working? So Madison said we danced and sang and screamed. The rest of the school probably thought we were going mad. Well, you can celebrate for another month. Yes, you have an additional 4 weeks in which to sharpen your
Miss,
skills.
Miss, I was excited for the test, Miss. Miss, I just wanted to get it over with.
Says
Excuse me, Miss. May I
Amari,
say something?
hold
Yes,
on,
Miss.
Jaden. This is the grade 6 ability test, Amari, that has been postponed.
Oh, you know next week?
The grade 4 will be in June.
Okay,
The
Miss.
grade
Miss, I
4 is
thought
still
it was
on.
earlier.
The grade 4 is still on. The curriculum-based test is still on. All right, so let me share the
Can I
screen.
say what I was gonna say?
Sure, go ahead, Jaden.
Miss, I was saying that the way the the performance task was also canceled, and that's kind of good for me. And the performance task was the one I was struggling with the most.
Oh, okay. Yes, a lot of
Yes, Miss,
scholars
same.
do struggle with the performance task. They do.
Miss, because you have to explain a lot. But I would
Yeah.
have rather them cancel the curriculum based.
Oh, you would? Why?
Miss, because I don't want to do the curriculum based. I'm scared of the curriculum based. I'm not scared of the performance task and the ability. But the
But I think
curriculum based is what
I
scares me
think
the
you
most.
are strong in the curriculum base, Madison. I think you know the topics.
Mhm. That's what my teacher
Curriculum
said as
base.
well.
Yeah, you know that I think you are strong in the curriculum base. All right, so Student Camp 2022 Ability Assessment, Booklet 3. So we're starting at item 16. We left off at 15 yesterday. Item type, verbal reasoning. Category, logical deduction. Targeted skills, analyze, draw conclusions. All right, Jaden.
Okay, Miss.
We're not hearing you, Jaden.
Sorry about that, Miss. A science laboratory has the following safety poster on its walls. Laboratory safety rules. 1. Always wear goggles. 2. Never eat or drink in the laboratory. 3. Never run in the laboratory. 4. Clean up all spills immediately. And 5. Always wash hands after handling laboratory materials. A. A science laboratory has the following safety poster on its walls. Laboratory safety rules. 1. Always wear goggles. 2. Never eat or drink in the laboratory. 3. Never run in the laboratory. 4. Clean up all spills immediately. And 5. Always wash hands after handling laboratory materials.
Okay. All right. Amari, question 16.
Okay, Miss. Question 16. Which of the safety rules could prevent... Oh, yeah, Bob first. Use the information given in the question. Make conclusions. Use the information given in the question. Make conclusions. Question 16. Which of the safety rules could prevent someone slipping on a wet floor? A. Rule number 1. B. Rule number 3. C. Rule number 5. D.
4.
Rule number 4. D. Rule number 5. Which of the which of the safety rules could prevent someone slipping on a wet floor? A rule number 1, B rule number 3, C rule number 4, D rule number 5.
All right, so look at the rules again.
Okay. Clean, Miss, I would say rule number 4, Miss. C.
Why?
Miss, because if you clean up the spills immediately, Miss, they wouldn't have time to fall.
All right. You notice this says which of the safety rule or rules. So there
Miss,
might
I
be
did
more
3 and
than
4.
one. There might be more than one. Okay, so you're
Oh,
saying rule number 4.
Miss
Is there
3 and
any other?
4. Miss 3 and 4.
3.
Correct. 3 and 4. Because don't run in the laboratory and clean up spills immediately. That's correct.
Yes, Miss.
All right. Now, this is the reflective journal for part 1. And in the reflective journal, it's just an exercise that asks you to reflect on the items you've done so far and to see if which ones were challenging, which ones were easy. So challenge, answer the questions below as honestly as you can. You can write answers in your journal or learning portfolio to share with your teacher, right? What aspects of the task did you find most challenging? So we don't have, I'm just letting you know what the items are like. We don't have to go through this, but you personally would decide which of the different types of questions you find most challenging and make sure you work on those areas. So which tasks were easy to complete? Which verbal reasoning category do you need further help with? So this is a personal reflective journal. From the items that we did from 1 to 15, you would reflect to see, okay, which ones do I prefer? Which ones do I find easy? Which ones do I find difficult? Madison, the self-check tick, read them for me, please.
Self-check tick to show what you can do. I can compare and classify objects by placing them in correct groups. I can read to obtain information. I can make inferences after reading a passage, and I can make logical deductions based on the information given. Self-check. Tick to show what you can do. I can compare and classify objects by placing them in correct groups. I can read to obtain information. I can make inferences after reading a passage, and I can make logical deductions based on the information given.
All right, so we should be able to say yes. Hopefully, we're able to say yes to all of these. Or if you're not sure, you tick not sure. And if not yet, it means you have to go and watch over all of our ability test videos and bring yourself up to speed. Now for the section 2, quantitative reasoning. Item type, first number 17, quantitative reasoning, category problem solving, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data and solve problems. All right. So, John?
Okay, Miss. The bar chart below shows the amount of rainfall for the city of Zanzibar during the last 6 months of the year. Use the information to answer item 17. July 50, August 108.
We can study the table, just read the information.
Okay. The bar chart below shows the amount of rainfall for the city of Zanzibar during the last 6 months of the year. Use the information to answer item 17.
All right, so before I go to, so look, take a minute and study the charts Also, I want to welcome Ashley. I want to welcome Cashmark, Adina. And backstage here, we have Andrea, we have Coleman. Lejeune is waiting patiently as well. So Coleman says, Andrea is a friend of mine that watches. That's great. Coleman, thank you for inviting. Is it Andrea or Ambria? Ambria. All right, so welcome to the newcomers and welcome to the old timers. So this graph shows the total amount of rainfall for the 6 months was 890 millimeters. So we have from July to December. Okay, so let's look at the question. You know who I haven't seen in a while?
Miss, can you go back, please?
Hold on. I have not seen Antoine in quite a while. Or you want to go back to the table?
Yes, please, Miss. That's why
And I'm going
Antoine
to...
was here yesterday.
Antoine wasn't here yesterday. All right, I'm going to come back to the table. Let me ask Jonathan to read question 17. Wait, read the bubble first.
Use the information given in the question. Make calculations. Use the information given in the question. Make calculations. Question: how much rainfall fell in September of that year? Question 17. How much rain fell in September of that year? A. 150 millimeters. B. 160 millimeters. C. 170 millimeter. D. 730 millimeters. 150 millimeter. B. 160 millimeters. C. 107 millimeters. D. 700 millimeters.
So September. So it's not that there was none in September. They want you to tell them how much.
Please, how much was there in total again? I heard someone say that.
890 millimeters in total. So the total rainfall for all 6 months was 890 millimeters. Cashmark is say, but Cashmark, they're not asking us, they're asking us for September. So we have some calculating to do. Did someone get bumped off? Wasn't Jaden here? What's happened to Jaden?
Miss, you got.
Miss, repeat the total one more time. Sorry to ask you so much.
890 millimeters in total.
September would be 160 millimeters.
All right, how did you get 160 millimeters?
Okay, Miss. So first I wrote down all of the numbers, all of the millimeters each month gathered. So July was 40, August was 130, October was 180, November was 160, and December was 220. So I added that together and I got 730, and I minus that from 890, and I got 160.
That is correct. So that is B, 160. Item 18, quantitative reasoning, category problem solving, targeted skills. We should be able to analyze and interpret data and solve problems. All right, Jaden, read the caption for me.
Okay, miss. The diagram below shows a balance. Side A has 5 blocks on and side B had 3 blocks. The mass of each block is shown in grams. Side A, 50 grams, 50
Diagram?
grams, 50 grams.
No, we can see the diagram. Just read the words again.
Okay, miss. The diagram below shows a balance. Side A has 5 blocks and side B has 3 blocks. The mass of each block is shown in grams.
All right, so take a minute and study the balance. Okay, Madison, read question 18, please.
Question 18. A student wants to have the same mass on both sides of the balance. How can the sides become balanced? A. Add 200 grams to side A. B. Add 200 to side B. C. Add 150 grams to side B. D. Take 150 grams from side A. Question 18. A student wants to have the same mass on both sides of the balance. How can the sides become balanced? A. Add 200 grams to side A. B. Add 200 grams to side B. C. Add 150 grams to side B. D. Take 150 grams from side A.
Bubbles?
Sorry. Analyze the diagram carefully. Make calculations. Analyze the diagram carefully and make calculations. Miss,
Mm-hmm.
I would say add 200 grams to side B because side A equals 350 grams and side B is 150.
All right, so we can look and see the 350 grams are replicated here. So you're correct. 350 grams, 350 grams. So we need the 100 grams or 200 grams. So that is correct, and that would be B, add 200 grams to side B. Item 19, the type is quantitative reasoning, category problem solving, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, and solve problems. Jonathan?
The diagram below shows 3 cereal boxes on a balanced scale. Each box is the same mass. The diagram below shows 3 cereal boxes on a balanced scale. Each cereal box is of the same mass. The diagram below shows 3 cereal boxes on a balanced scale. Each cereal box is of the same mass.
All right, so we have 3 cereal boxes, and it's balancing, the scale is balanced, and this mass here is what? 1,800 grams. All right, Amari, question 19.
Okay, miss. Question 19. Analyze the diagram carefully. Make calculations. How much does a real cereal box weigh? How much does a real cereal box weigh? A. 5,000 5,500.
5,400.
Sorry, miss. 5,400 grams. Sorry, miss. B. 1,800 grams. C. 800 grams. D. 600 grams. A. 5,400 grams, B 1,800 grams, C 800 grams, or D 600 grams?
Did you read the bubble?
Yes, miss.
All right, what do you say, Amari? How much does each cereal box weigh? Would you like to see the diagram again?
Yes, please, miss. Um, Miss, I would say, Miss, can you go back to the options, please? Miss, I would say Miss D 600 grams.
Explain to me how you came by that.
So, Miss has said, I said 1,800.
Miss, I also got 600 grams
All right.
because, Miss, can I say how?
Yes, Jaden.
Miss, since there are three cereal boxes and they all add up to 108,
1,800.
1,800 grams, you just have to divide 1,800 by 3, which is 600.
All right. And that's exactly what Amari said he did as well. Madison also says 600 grams. Jonathan says he agrees. Cashmark says 3 divided by 1,008. So it's actually 1,008 divided by 3 Cashmark, right? And that would give us 600 grams. All right. So we agree. We all agree. All right. So items 20 and 21, quantitative reasoning, category problem solving, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data and solve problems. So, John,
Okay, Miss. Scenario: use the information below to answer items 20 and 21. Scenario: use the information below to answer items 20 and 21.
all right, John, I still want you to read the scenario for me.
Okay, Miss. The diagram above shows the design of a handrail for a length of walkway for a school, located 400 meters from the beach. The horizontal bars each measure 2 meters. The vertical bars each measure 90,
90.
yes, miss, 90 centimeters, and the handrail is designed with 5 decorative stairs. The diagram above shows the design of a handrail for a length of walkway for a school located 400 meters from the beach. The horizontal bars each measure 2 meters, the vertical bars each measure 90 centimeters, and the handrail is designed with 5 decorative stars.
All right, so this is the entire handrail. Horizontal length 2 meters, vertical height of the rail 90 centimeters. All right, so let's absorb that information. All right, and now um, Jaden, question 20.
Okay, Miss. Question 20. Wait. Use the information given in the question. Make calculations. Question 20. A student wants to use the same design to cover 6 meters. How many decorative stars would he need for the handrail? Question 20. A student wants to use the same design to cover 6 meters. How many decorative stars would he need for the handrail? Hey, Miss, can you go back to this?
Read the options. Read the options first.
Oh, yeah. The options are A 5, B 10, C 30, D 15. A 5, B10, C30, D15.
All right, so here's the handrail again. The student wants the handrail to cover 6 meters. How many decorative stars would be in that total 6 meters?
Okay.
Are you able to say, Jaden? Or anyone else wants to
Yes,
try?
Miss Graduate, Miss.
John?
Okay, Miss. So, Miss, since it says 6 meters, Miss, and in 2 meters, Miss, there are 5 decorative squares, Miss. You multiply the 5 decorative squares by 3, Miss. So that's how you get the 15.
All right, so John says, since the 2 meter handrail has 5 stars and 6 meters is 3 times the 2 meters, so we should multiply the 5 stars by 3, and that will give us 15 decorative stars. I tend to agree. Madison, how you got 30 stars?
Miss, I wasn't using mine. Sorry.
Madam, please always use your brain when you're on our class. And it
Yes, Miss,
just so
I
happens.
sincerely apologize.
Yes, ma'am. So it just so happens, Madison, it's your turn to read the next question. So here you go.
Question 21. What is the total what is the total length of horizontal bars needed to make the 6-meter handrail? A, 6 meters, B, 12 meters, C, 18 meters, or D, 24 meters. Question 21. What is the total length of horizontal bars needed to make the 6-meter handrail? A, 6 meters, B, 12 meters, C, 18 meters, or D, 24 meters. Miss, I'd say 6 meters.
So let's go back to the handrail. So you're saying 6 meters. Total length of horizontal bars. Why do you say 6?
Miss, because 2 times 3 is 6.
Let me hear what other scholars are saying. Any other answer? Does everybody agree it's 6?
Oh, Miss, my answer would be 12 meters.
Why,
12
John?
meters. Okay, Miss, because it says 6-meter handrail, Miss, and it's the total length of the horizontal bar, Miss. So, Miss, there'd be 2 horizontal bar, Miss. So, Miss, it'd be 6 plus 6, Miss. That would give you 12 meters.
All right.
That's
So I think what John is saying. Are you referring to this as one and this as another?
Yes, Miss.
All right. So John is saying the 2 meter handrail has 2 meters of horizontal bars at the top and 2 meters at the bottom. That's 4. And we need 3 of them to make the 6 meters. So that's 4 times 3, which is 12. And that actually is the answer. The first time I saw this question, I was a bit confused. I didn't quite understand what was being asked because I was saying you need 6 meters to make a 6-meter handrail. Right? But then I'm seeing that, okay, but it has horizontal bars at the top and bottom. Okay, so Jonathan, can you read this for me, please?
The diagram above shows the design of a handrail for a length
Oh,
of walk.
hold on. Sorry, Jonathan, we passed that already. So hold on a bit. All right, so items 22 to 24 And after these two questions, we're going to switch. All right, 22 to 24, item type quantitative reasoning, category logical deductions, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, drawing conclusions. All right, you can go ahead now, Jonathan.
The, the, la- the label below shows nutrition facts, a container of macaroni and cheese pie. Use the information to answer items 22 and 3. The label below shows nutrition facts about a container of macaroni and cheese pie. Use the information to answer items 22 and 23. Shack's
All
macaroni
right,
and
so we
cheese
can,
pie.
okay, so we can read the nutrition facts for me, and then we can look at the rest of it.
Nutrition facts. Serving size half a cup, 228 grams. Server container 3. Serving size half a cup, 228 grams. Serving per container 3.
All right, so let's just take a minute and study the amount per serving. So for each serving, you get this amount of calories. And of that, this amount of calories is from fat. We have total fat, what percent of the daily value, and saturated fat. All right, and there's another part to this. This is the second part of the label. So look at that as well. And we'll come back to them depending on which one the question refers to. So Amari, question 22.
Okay, Miss. Question 22. Analyze the data given on the label. Use this to answer the question. Question 22. Analyze the data given on the label. Use this to answer the question. Merrick ate 3 servings of macaroni and cheese pie. What percentage of the daily value for total fat did he eat? Merrick ate 3 servings of macaroni and cheese pie. What percentage of the daily value for a total fat did he eat? A. 10, B. 16, C. 30, D. 48. A. 10, B. 16, C. 30, D. 48.
All right, so he ate 3 servings. That means he ate the entire container. Or the container has 3 servings. So what percentage of the total fat? What do you say, Amari?
Miss, can you go answer? So, Miss, I would say 16. 16 times 3, Miss, would be 48, Miss.
Letter?
Oh, Miss, D. 48.
All right, that's correct. And John, question 23.
Okay, Miss. Always recheck your calculations. Use all information given in the question. Always recheck your calculations. Use all information given in the question. Question 23. How many calories did Merrick consume? Question 23. How many calories did Merrick consume? A. 240, B. 720, C. 228, D. 110. A. 240, B. 720, C. 228, D. 110. Miss, my answer would be B. 720, Miss. It's because the total color, Miss, because the total calories, Miss, what? Yes, Miss. Miss, the amount per serving of the colors, Miss, is 240, Miss. So 240 times 3 would give you 720.
All right, that is correct. All right, so let me check who's waiting backstage. All right, so Madison also said 48% for that one. So let me see who is backstage. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 persons backstage. So I'm going to ask the 4 persons who are on now to switch places. And then we can invite those who are waiting. All right, so stick around. You might be able to return. So Madame Legende, who has been patiently waiting. Jer.
Miss, I was just in the back like, Miss, I beg you, just add me, please, Miss, just add me, just
Welcome,
quick.
Madame Legende. Catalea, welcome. Ambria, welcome. And we still have Coleman waiting. So the system orders you according to how you enter the studio, guys. It's not up to me. So I'm just letting you in according to how you enter the studio. So Coleman is still waiting. Who knows? Maybe he'll get a chance to come on. But if not, just post your answers in the chat and I'll read them for you. Welcome, Catalea, and welcome, Ambria. I wouldn't mind if you turn your cameras on. I'm staring at 4 black boxes. I feel like I was in an airplane that crashed, and that airplane had 4 black boxes that I'm staring at. Okay, that's much better. Two
Miss,
black
I can't
boxes.
even see myself.
I'm seeing 2 black boxes now. So 2 is better than none, eh? I really do prefer to see who I'm speaking to. And I know you are also beautiful, so I don't know why you're hiding your faces. All right. Madame Legende, you know I love your strong, powerful voice. And so, so you're going to read question 24.
Question 20. Miss, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Question 24. A seed box had 12 tomato seeds planted. Some of the tomato plants did not germinate. If 9 plants germinated, what percent of the plants did not germinate? A seed box had 12 tomato seeds planted. Some of the tomato plants did not germinate. If 9 plants germinated, what percent of the plants did not germinate?
Options.
A. 3%, B. 25%, C. 33%, D. 75%. A. 3%, B. 25%, C. 33%, D. 75%.
All right. So 12 tomato seeds planted and 9 of the plants germinated. So what percent did not germinate? Let's see some answers. Madison 25%, Amari and John 25%. Legende, did you get your answers yet?
No, miss.
All right, Jonathan 25%. So tell me, well, explain to me, those who posted in the chat, how you came by the 25%, please. How did you come by 25%? So 12 seeds were planted. 9 of the seeds germinated. Okay, so John and Amari are saying 9 over 12 times 100. That gives
Miss,
um
75%.
hold a minute. I need to clarify something. Okay, so all right. So John is saying 9 over 12 times 100, which gives 75%. You see where you went wrong, John? You're mixing them around. So that's what gives 75%, and then you subtract it, right? So 25%. And Madison says she divided 9 by 12 and got 0.75 times 100, which is essentially what the brothers did. And that would represent the percentage that germinated what they want, what percent did not. Ambria, did you remove yourself or were you kicked off? You want to come back?
Miss, I say 25.
Yes, we agree it's 25%. Type in the chat, Ambria, if you want me to put you back. Seem like you got either got kicked off or you got stage fright. Which one? You got stage fright, my dear? Or she's saying no stage fright around here. She got kicked off. So we're reinstating Ambria. And I'm going to ask you, Ambria, to read the next question right after I introduce the next item. Item 25, quantitative reasoning, category data analysis, comparing quantities, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data and compare. And this is the pie chart, which shows the categories of waste collected from Jamaican households. So the pie chart below shows the categories of waste collected from Jamaican households. For those who can't see too well, so let me explain. So this blue here is wood and grass clippings, 37%. Here is food waste, 36%. No, sorry, 16%. Plastic bag, 15%. Solid plastic, 15%. Dark blue, textile glass, 10%. And metals, 3%. And something else here is 4%, right? So, Ambria, please read this item here.
Question 5. Okay. The National
20.
Solid Waste Management Authority, the Solid Waste Management Authority (SWMA) has suggested that of the waste should be completed. The National Solid Waste Management Authority (NSWMA) has suggested that portions of waste that can decompose should be composted.
Continue.
What percentage of the waste should be composed? A 16%, B 37%, C 53%, D 47%. What percentage of the waste should be composted? A
Compost.
16%, B 37%, C 53%, D 47%.
All right, and read the bubble also.
Use the data in the graph. Recheck your calculations. Use data in the graph. Reach your calculations.
So they're asking what percentage of the waste should be composted. So we would compost material that can decompose, that can naturally break down within a reasonable time. So based on the pie chart, what percentage of the material should be composted? What say you? Amari and John? Let me see if some other answers come in first. I'm seeing two answers so far, two persons answering. Anybody else? How about you guys in the chat? Welcome, Laurie Ann.
Miss, did you say something before?
So I'm
I
just
was
asking. Okay, so Madison says 53%. Amari and John, 53%. And they are explaining that they got that by adding the 33% and the 16%. Coleman is saying just 16%. So explain. Oh, so that means the 37% would be the wood and grass clippings, and these are natural material. They can decompose. They are biodegradable. And the food waste would also be biodegradable. So it's a 37 plus 16, and that's how we get the 53%. Okay, so item 26, quantitative reasoning, data analysis, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, draw conclusions. Look at each statement carefully. Is the statement supported by the graph? So we are to look at each statement carefully and decide if the statement is supported by the graph. So I am going to ask Catalea to read that item for me.
Question 26. A student conducted an investigation on the effect of fertilizer on the height of red peas grown over a period of 4 weeks. The student's results were placed on the chart below. Question 26. A student conducted an investigation on the effect of fertilizer on the height of red peas grown over a period of 4 weeks. The students' results were placed on the chart below.
And that's the chart. So the title is Effect of Fertilizer on Plant Height. This is the amount of fertilizer in grams. This is the height of the plant in centimeters. So when this amount of fertilizer was given, the plants grew to this height. So take a minute and study that. And then we're going to look at the item and see whether it's supported or not. So Lejande, please read.
Choose the letter to show whether the following statements are supported or not supported, based on the results of the investigation. Statements. Number 1. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. Supported A, not supported B. Number 2. Increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase the plant height. Supported A, B, not supported. Number 3. Fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce plant growth. A. Supported A, not supported B. Choose the letter to show whether the statements are supported or not supported based on the results of investigation. Statements. 1. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. Supported A, B, not supported.
Number 2, increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase plant height. Supported A, B, not supported. Number 3, fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce plant growth. Supported A, not supported B.
All right, so let's look at number 1. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. Is that supported or not? So let's look back at the chart. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. Is that supported or not supported? And by supported, we mean, is the information given? Can we use the information given to determine that it is so, that it is true? So when we look at the pattern, can we say that plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer given?
I really think it is affected.
It is affected. So to say that it is not affected, we would have to say that's not supported. Because the more fertilizer you give, at least in the initial stages, the higher the plant grows, at least at the beginning. So we see that plant height is affected by fertilizer. So that statement is not supported. So we would circle B. How about statement 2? Increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase the plant height. Is that supported or not supported?
Not supported.
Why do
Not
you say
supported.
Because from 0 to 25, yes, it rises. But then as soon as you reach 30, it starts to go down.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. So it's not always the case, right? In the initial stages, the first set of doses, yes, the plants will get bigger, but after it reaches a point where the more you give, then the height of the plant starts to decrease. So that one, number 2, is not supported. And number 3 says fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce plant growth. Fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce plant growth. Is that supported or not? Anyone? So fertilizer amounts over 25. Amari and John says it's supported. Cashmark says it's supported. What say you, panelists? Ambria says it's supported. All right, so we see that when it's 20, when it's more than 25, so 30 and 35, they are more than 25, the plant height starts to go back down. So it peaked at 25. That's the highest the plants grew at when 25 grams of fertilizer was applied. But after that, when we get to 30 grams, 35 grams, the height of the plant starts decreasing. Item 27, item type, quantitative reasoning, category, data analysis, patterns, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data and predict. Ambria, can you read item 27, please? Ambria? Did you get booted again? Catalea, please read 27.
Question 27. The body temperatures of different animals in hot and cold environments are shown in the table below. Table showing body temperatures of animals in different environments. Name of animal: snake. Animal body temperature 10. Hot
Degrees
in
Celsius. So the temperature is in degrees Celsius.
10 degrees Celsius. 10 Celsius. Hot environments 30 degrees Celsius. Bobcat. Cold environment. Bobcat 38 degrees Celsius. Hot environment 39 degrees Celsius. Fish. Cold environment 10 degrees Celsius. Hot environment 30 degrees Celsius. Rats. Cold environment 38 degrees Celsius. Hot environment 38 degrees Celsius.
All right, so read the top part again and then we'll look at the table together. So just read up to from here up down to here and then we'll examine the table. Go ahead.
Question 27. The body temperatures of different animals in hot and cold environments are shown in the table below. Table showing body temperatures of animals in different environments.
All right, so we have snake, bobcat, fish, rat, and these are the temperatures in degrees Celsius when they are in the cold environment as opposed to hot environment. Coleman, please read this question.
A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment at 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperatures are they most likely to have after a few days? A. Snake 20 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. B. Snake 25 degrees Celsius and rat at 38 degrees Celsius. C. Snake at 37 degrees Celsius and rat at 25 degrees Celsius. D. Snake at 38 degrees Celsius and rat at 38 degrees Celsius.
Read the bubble.
Examine the results in the table. What pattern do you see? Use the patterns to make a prediction. A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment at 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperatures are they most likely to have after a few days? A. Snake 20 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. B. 25 degrees Celsius and rat at 38 degrees Celsius. C. Snake 37 degrees Celsius and rats 25 degrees Celsius. D. Snake 38 degrees Celsius and rat 38 degrees Celsius. Examine the results in the table. What patterns do you see? Use the patterns to make a prediction.
All right. How did you answer, Coleman? John and Amari, why are you talking about bobcat and rats? they said a snake and a rat, so? All right. So, Coleman, answer. Let me read what Amari and John have.
I can't really tell.
Okay. So Amari and John says the rat stays at 38 degrees Celsius. Why are you talking about bobcats? They're not asking about bobcats. This snake 25 degrees, rat 38 degrees. Madison agrees. Okay, so I don't know why they were talking about bobcats. All right, so they're asking us about, so if we notice, what we notice is, looking back, let's go back. Where are we? So the snake, any environment that you put the snake in, it's going to keep that temperature. If you put it in the cold environment, it stays at that temperature. If you put it in the hot environment, it stays at that temperature. And the same thing for the fish. It keeps the temperature of the environment that it's in. The bobcat and the rat, being mammals, they regulate their own body temperature. They are warm-blooded. And so if you put them in a cold environment, they're going to have their normal body temperature inside. This is internal body temperature. Hot environment, they're going to have their normal body temperature, maybe up by 1 degree for the bobcat, but pretty much the same as their normal body temperature. So we would expect then that the snake will remain at the temperature and the rat would keep its own body temperature. So that means this, if it's a 25 degrees Celsius environment, therefore the snake will take the temperature of the environment and the rat will have its regular body temperature, right? So that's B, John, Amari, Madison, correct. Item 28, item type, quantitative reasoning, category patterns, data analysis, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, identify patterns. Lesion Day 28, please.
Question 28. A student wants to find out how the temperature of water affects the time it takes a sugar cube to dissolve in water. No, step 1. He does the experiment 3 times at 4 different temperatures. Step 2. He uses 1 sugar cube each time and the same volume of water. Step 3. The results are shown in the table. Question 28. A student wants to find out how the temperature of the water affects the time it takes a sugar cube to dissolve in water. Step 1. He does the experiment 3 times at 4 different temperatures. Step 2. He uses 1 sugar cube each time and the same volume of water. Step 3. The results are shown in the table.
All right, so the table showing the time taken for sugar cube to dissolve at different temperatures. So the temperature of the water varies from 30 degrees Celsius up to 60 degrees Celsius. Remember, same amount of sugar cube was used, same volume of water, and this is the time taken in each water at different degrees. So the 30 degrees Celsius, test 1, the sugar cube took 10 minutes, time is in minutes, 10 minutes to dissolve. Test 2, it took 9 minutes. Test 3, 11 minutes. In the 40 degrees Celsius water, it took 8 minutes, 9 minutes. 50 degrees Celsius, 7 and 8 minutes. 60 degrees, 6 and 7 minutes. All right, so from that, Catalea, read for me, please.
Which statement best describes the pattern of the results? A. The more water used, the shorter the time taken. B. The higher the temperature, the longer the time taken. C. The more water used, the longer the time taken. D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. Look for patterns. Compare how quickly the sugar dissolves at different temperatures. Which statement best describes the pattern of the results? A. The more water used, the shorter the time taken. B. The higher the temperature, the longer the time taken. C. The more water used, the longer the time taken. D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. Look for patterns. Compare how quickly the sugar dissolves at different temperatures.
All right, so which one of these would you say, Catalea? Look back at the table. So the temperature is rising. As it rises, what is happening to the time taken for the sugar to dissolve? Which of the options? And let me hear from the other scholars as well. Some have already posted their answers. So I'm seeing John, Amari, Madison. So Coleman, Madison, John, Amari, they're all saying D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. And we can see that because as the temperature rises, the time goes from on average 9 minutes to on average 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, right? So the time taken gets less the hotter the water, the higher the temperature of the water. And we can eliminate some of these options because you can't talk about the more water used when we're told that it's the same volume of water that was used, right? So we can eliminate A and C. The answer is D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. Item 29, and then two more after this one. Item type, quantitative reasoning, category data analysis, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, draw conclusions. All right, so we have wood lice. So we're looking at wood lice here. Ambria, can you read?
Question 29. A class investigated the habitat preferred by
Habitats,
wood ice.
wood
They step
lice.
up at they stepped up that they set up they set
A
up
choice chamber,
a
choice
choice
chamber,
with four sections. Still X a choice chamber with four sections W, X, Y, and Z, representing different habitants with
habitats,
eyes. Question 20.
habitats for the
A
wood
class
lice.
investigated preferred
Ambria,
habitats preferred by habitats Yes.
Do you know what a habitat is?
Where's
All right, so the habitats would be where the woodlice live in this case. All right, so read it again, please.
the habitants preferred by wood of a
Woodlice.
woodlice. They set up a choose chamber with four sections W, X, Y, and Z, responding different habitants,
Representing.
presenting different habitants for the wood eye.
Is call the word for me, please. Woodlice.
Woodlice.
All right, so the class released 20 woodlice into the chamber and counted how many woodlice were in each section after 5 minutes. These are their results. The class released 20 woodlice into the chamber and counted how many woodlice were in each section after 5 minutes. These are their results. So W, which was dry and light, had 2 woodlice. X, which was damp and light, had 5 woodlice. Y, which was dry and dark, had 3 woodlice. And Z, which was damp and dark, had 10 woodlice. Take a minute and look at that. Look at those findings. So, Legende, please read the question.
What conclusion can the compare the number of woodlice in each section? What is similar about the sections that had more woodlice? What conclusions can the class make from the results? A. Woodlice prefer dark habitat. B. Woodlice prefer damp habitat. C. Woodlice prefer dry habitat. D. Woodlice prefer the light. What conclusion can the class make from the results? A. Woodlice prefer dark habitat. B. Woodlice prefer damp habitats. C. Woodlice prefer dry habitats. D. Woodlice prefer the light.
All right, so based on the table, what would we say?
Miss would prefer A and B. Miss B.
What letter?
B.
You said B?
Yes,
All
miss.
right, that is correct. And why do you say that? What makes you say that?
Miss, because at Z, there's 10 of them for damp and dark. And it can be A too, because it says dark too. But since it's damp,
But the dry and dark only has 3.
no, I'm saying it's a damp and dark miss, so it can be dark too.
No, I'm saying it's not the dark because when the other place was dark, it had only 3.
Yes,
So
miss.
it's the dampness mainly that they're going after.
Yes, miss.
Because the ones that have dampness have the higher, the 10 and the 5 have damp.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Items 30 to 31. Item type, quantitative reasoning, category data analysis, targeted skills, analyze and interpret data, draw predict and draw conclusions. Coleman,
Yes, miss.
please read.
A student investigates a friction by pulling a block and the force needed to using a force meter. Results are shown in the table. Use the information to answer items 30 and 31. A student investigates friction by pulling a block and recording the force needed using a force meter. Results are shown in the table. Use in, in use the information to answer the I to answer items 30 and 31.
All right, so table showing the force needed for different surfaces. Tabletop, 2.5 newtons. Paper towel, 2.8 newtons. Fine sandpaper, 3.0 newtons. Rough sandpaper, 3.3 newtons. So the table showing the force needed for different surfaces. Tabletop, 2.5 newtons. Paper towel, 2.8 newtons. Fine sandpaper, 3.0 newtons. Rough sandpaper, 3.3 newtons. Catalea, please read question 30.
Question 30. What is the conclusion for this investigation? A. Force move objects on different surface. B. Force stops objects from falling. C.
From moving.
The rougher the surface, the greater the force needed. D. The smoother the first surface, the greater the force needed. Question 30. What is the conclusion for this investigation? A. Force move objects on different surfaces. B. Force stops objects from moving. C. The rougher the surface, the greater the force needed. D. The smoother the first surface, the greater the force needed.
All right, so which is it? Which is it? So based on the type of surface, more force was needed for each one coming up or going down rather, more force was needed. So what do you say, Catalea? And let me hear what the other scholars say.
I think it's C.
All right, so read what C says.
The rougher the surface, the greater the force needed.
All right, and that is correct because when we look at the table, tabletop is smooth, paper towel a little rougher, sandpaper rougher than the paper towel, rough sandpaper rougher than the fine sandpaper. So the rougher it gets, we see it takes more force to move the object. So that is correct. C is correct. Legende, question 31.
Miss, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now, yes.
Okay, it's just my mic wasn't unmuting. I don't know why. Okay, analyze the information in the table. What pattern can you find? Question 31. Oil is added to the tabletop. Which prediction will likely take place? A. The force needed will be 2.0. B. The force needed will be 2.6. C. The force needed will be 3.1. D. The force needed will be 3.4. Question 31. Oil is added to the tabletop. Which prediction will likely take place? A. The force needed will be 2.0. B. The force needed will be 2.6. C. The force needed will be 3.1. D. Force needed will be 3.4.
All right, so we're talking about the tabletop. So if we add oil to the tabletop, what effect will the oil have on the tabletop? Will we need a greater force or a lesser force? What effect does
Miss,
oil have on the
a
tabletop?
lesser force?
Why is that?
Because, Miss, it says on the table it has 2.5, and each step it gets higher.
Okay, but that's not that doesn't affect the oil. The other surfaces, we can ignore them for now. We're talking just now about the tabletop and the effect that the oil has on it. So can anyone explain what effect does oil have on surfaces when it comes to friction? Anyone? All right, so oil is a lubrication, it's a lubricant, and lubricants reduce the amount of force that is needed to move things on surfaces. So Macy is explaining it by saying the oil makes it slippery. Yes, so the oil reduces the friction, and so we need less force. So we need to find then, and Ambria says the oil makes the force move easier. So are we looking for a number that's bigger than 2.5 or less than 2.5 then? Now that we have added the oil, would we need a force that's more than 2.5 or less than 2.5?
I say less.
Do we all agree? We need a lesser force now that the lubricant has been added. So which one up there would be the one then? Which letter? There's only one force up there that's less than 2.5 newtons. Which letter is it? Anyone? Anyone can answer. Okay, so Macy Lynn says 2.0, which is A. And that's correct, Macy Lynn. Ambria also says A. All right, so Catalea says A as well. So what we have left is a reflective journal, similar to the one that we saw at the end of part 1. So you are to reflect and see which of the questions you found most challenging, which ones were easy, which ones you need more work on. And the aim of the PEP student camp booklets is for us to be able to tick yes to each of these. I can use information to make calculations and solve problems. Yes. I can analyze and compare data in tables and graphs. Yes. I can identify patterns in results. Yes. I can use patterns in results to make predictions. Yes. I can use data from investigations to draw conclusions. Yes. Are you able to identify, scholars, the areas that you find challenging, the areas that are really easy for you, no challenge at all? the areas that you need some more work, not necessarily a challenge, but just some more practice? Have you been able to pick out, as we have been going through all these booklets for the past couple weeks, were you able to identify which of the question types you need more work on? Well, you
Yes.
can go back through the videos and watch them over and see. Did you want to say something? Who wanted to say something? Someone was saying, Miss.
It was me, miss. I was saying yes, miss.
Which one, Coleman, which one you find most challenging?
Uh, use information to make calculations and solve problems. Analyze and compare data in tables and graphs.
All
And
right. So you're going to go back and watch the videos, and we're going to be doing more ability test videos as well. So you're going to have this whole arsenal of videos that you can comb through, look at the different sample types, and look back at how we approach them. And I promise you, you'll get better and better and better. So we have another month. We have been graciously given an extension, and we're going to use that time wisely. So, but when that time comes around again, we'll be even better prepared. Thank you, scholars, for being with me. I appreciate your company and your participation. Thank you to those who posted their questions and comments and answers in the chat. All right. So,
miss,
yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
How long have you actually been on YouTube?
How long have I been on YouTube? About a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And so far we have, on the channel, we have 420 math videos. Well, 420 videos, most of which are math videos.
420?
420 videos. Most of, I would say about 350 of those are math videos. The rest are student motivational videos. So you can camp out on the channel, put up your tent, and sleep on the channel, wake up on the channel, do everything on the channel. Camp out and watch all the math videos that you need. All right, so I'm going to go now to my CSEC class. We're late. We went over by 35 minutes. So I'm late for that class, so I have to run. I will see you, scholars, tomorrow. Take care. All right, so here is the schedule of classes as usual. Write down these times and dates so you don't miss any of these classes. Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes, that students make with all the topics in CSET Math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.